What's happening, everyone? Today we're going over AREA21's new song 21, but more importantly, we're going over how to create that old school analog vibe with a lot of sampling techniques, some other plugins as well, and a couple cool techniques you guys can use for your songs. You guys can download this project for free down below on my website, theklingmusic.com. You can check out all my sounds on there as well. And let's hop into the video. All right, so looking into this project initially, you're gonna see like it might look a little different because everything's really bounced out. And the reason it's bounced out is one, for CPU purposes, because it's good to save CPU. And two is because we used a sampling technique. And what I did was I transposed some things down a couple semitones, a whole octave. And then after that, I pitched it back up to the original. And this gives it like a dirty feel. It doesn't make it really clean, because if you guys listen to the original really quickly, it's not a clean song, as in everything kind of sounds a little analog-y, a little dirty. Like, we're not looking for like a high quality, high-end, crispy synth. Not the case at all, actually. We're looking for that like analog feel, a little bit of that old school vibe. So for the lead, I went down 3, and then after that, I bounced it out, and then I went back up 3 on the pitch, and that gives it a little bit of a dirty feel. And when we pitch it up like that, it just gives it this like dirty vibe, which we can't really get if we play it out of the synth cleanly. All right, so off the bat here, the synth lead is just a really basic sound. It's just a sine wave, analog BD sine wave, 1 octave up, and there's some noise on here too. And the biggest part of the sound is coming from these LFOs. So the LFO1 is on the fine pitch. This one is more of like the constant. Let me pitch that back up. But this one that one's not really obvious. But this one right here, this one is going ridiculously fast, and it kind of has that Avicii effect where it's so fast it creates a lot of distortion. And then on that, we have some distortion and some EQ, because without it, the distortion with the white noise and the sine wave just makes it sound absolutely sick. Take a look at the MIDI here. It's actually really cool. Like, it's just bouncing all over the place. It's not staying in like one little section. For some reason, I don't know, maybe it's like a video I watched when I started producing, but I always limit myself to like just a couple notes, or like not even a whole octave. Because look at this. It jumps from here to here. That's so cool. Like, it's not really done a lot in my opinion. It probably is, but just I limit myself to that. So don't limit yourself when you're creating melodies. And then processing on that bounce lead, I have all the high end out of there, because this lead is direct mono, one voice of unison, directly down the middle, no high end, just a really old school sound. Now we got the pad. This kind of sounds like an organ, kind of sounds like an old church organ, or maybe even like a Rhodes piano. And boom, once again, this preset isn't really anything next level. We're just using the LFOs on the fine pitches, once again, to give us that pitch variation. That's so key when you're trying to create those like analog, dirty sounds. And then the LFO2 is on the pan. So if we play the MIDI, if my computer lets me. And then there's some distortion on here too, just to give it a little bit of crunch. Not a lot of like heavy distortion, just a little bit of that crunch. And the processing on the actual sample is just some RC20 with some EQ, because there's a lot of resonance in this. And here's what this sounds like down 12. And then when we stretch it back up, it just kind of sounds like all like crispy and just kind of bad, but it just fits the song so good. Then underneath that, we have a simple pad from Silent. It's all on the right side. So if you guys are in headphones, everything is on the right side. It's honestly a really basic sound. It's just some detuned saw waves, some phaser and reverb, just to wash it out a lot. Now for the bass line, I wanted to go for like a house type bass. This preset from my top 100 Serum Bank worked perfectly for this. It's just 2 sine waves here. So oscillator A is being FM'd by oscillator B. If you guys aren't too familiar with that, don't worry. But envelope 1 is controlling a bunch of things here. So it's a really short decay, and then it's on the FM, it's on the volume, we have a little noise here, like a little kick. Honestly, not doing that much, but in the effects, we just have some filtering, some distortion, really simple stuff. And then probably my favorite part of the remake is this recorded bass guitar. And this was just for the percussive element. So I've recorded a bass guitar. It sounded horrible at first. It was like completely out of time and everything. Timed it up. And then I EQ'd out all the actual bass because we just want the percussive, like the just the mid-range too. This can get annoying. That was kind of annoying to listen to. And all the processing is just making it a little wider and just cleaning it up because we just want that low mid punch. Then we have some atmospheric elements all together. Just a little synth stab here. This is literally just a saw wave inside of Serum. This is nothing too crazy. Saw wave detuned, then a lot of EQing out that low end because we don't want a lot of high end, or a lot of low end in this, sorry. Then we have a guitar. Duplicated that one up 12. And then this one is down 12. Just to give it a little bit of atmospheric feel. And then for the drums, we got 128 BPM, 4 on the floor, kick and clap. I'm gonna process all these samples. I'm gonna process them so you guys have the process ones because I did put a lot of effects on some of these, but just a kick and a clap. Got some acoustic drum elements here from Kashmir. Then there's like a really cool reverse hi-hat, which kind of gives it a little bit of like a swing. And then finally, we got an exhaust, made it inside of Serum, but I'll bounce it out for you guys. Then a little vocal effect. It sounds like garbage on its own. Because I put like 4 reverbs on it and pitched it up. It sounded really weird, but in the mix, I think I get away with it. Has that Galantis kind of vibe. And that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I really just wanted to get the point across of the sampling techniques because I just think they can add a lot of character to your songs and just really just make the song not too electronic and just give it some, some human feel. Just make it less digital. If you guys enjoyed it, let me know down below and I will talk to all of you in the future. Peace out.